In civil matters? Just a minute. Just a minute. Serial number
23, 24 and
23, 24
and 29.
29. On the request on the ground of Mr. Alok Lal and the advocate, this case is adjourned. Just simplicity to adjourn. Not today करने से भी तो चल जाएगा. Adjourn for the day. Adjourn for the day.
CL में
13 civil matter. किस नंबर?
जो बेल मैटर है.
बेल में कोई adjournment नहीं.
उनका डेटिंग एंगेजमेंट है.
हम देख लेंगे. देना होगा तो दे देंगे, रिजेक्ट करना होगा तो रिजेक्ट कर देंगे. आप ही लोग का रिक्वेस्ट पे स्पेशली चढ़ा है ना, केस टेकअप नहीं हो रहा है. जब टेकअप लिस्ट में आ गया तब बोलिएगा कि एडजॉर्नमेंट भी जैसे हो नहीं सकता है. आप लोग को चाहिए कि आज फाइल करेंगे, 2 दिन बाद टेकअप भी हो जाए, डिस्पोज भी हो जाए, आप फिर टाइम भी लीजिएगा. दोनों एक साथ नहीं चल सकता है. यस.
From supplementary causes under the heading orders which effect year number 2666 of 22.
Yes.
My lord, case registered in section 376 of IPC 4 of POCSO Act. Allegation
Age of the girl.
16.
it has been given in the FIR that the age of the girl is 16 years. But, my lord, there is inordinate delay of 2 months in lodging FIR. Your Lordship. It has been admitted in the FIR that the first occurrence taking place on 28/9/2021. Thereafter on 17/11/2021, but the FIR was lodged on 24/11/2021, Your Lordship. And a vague allegation has been labelled against this petitioner, Your Lordship, even there is no any medical report of the victim, Your Lordship. And I am languishing behind the petitioner back on 26/11/2021, my Lord. Actually, they have pressurized the petitioner to marry the victim. And there is no any such sexual assault was made. But when they have refused, then this false case has been instituted, my lord.
On the allurement of marriage, you have committed rape.
My lord, these are the allegations, your lordship. But there is no any truth, my lord, no medical report, nothing, your lordship. Your lordship may like all for guilt alleged in which it will crystal clear, your lordship.
Not necessary. Heard the counsel for the petitioner, not now. Let the victim be examined, then you renew your appeal. Heard the counsel for the petitioner, heard the counsel for the state. Next part. The counsel for the petitioner submits that on a false pretext this case has been lodged. He submits that there is the allegation is vague and there is no sign of any injury on the person of the victim. He submits that the informant wants to forcibly solemnize, wants that petitioner should marry the victim. That is why this case has been lodged. Next one. After going through the FIR, I find that there is an allegation that on the pretext of marriage, this petitioner has sexually assaulted committed rape upon the victim. The victim is aged about 16 years, which is apparent from the FIR. Considering the nature of allegation, at this stage I am not inclined to grant bail to the petitioner. The petitioner, if so advised, may renew his prayer after examination of the victim during trial.
But even there is no any photographs or video.
Serial number 2, PA number 2704 of 22, Mr. Pran Pranay.
Hello, this can position is short.
Yes.
Lord, under section 302 of the IPC, there are 24% named in the FIR. No specific allegation has been attributed.
Case diary antecedent. In the meantime, pay the deficit court fee.
I think it was something.
Serial number 3, PA number 2705 of 22.
What was in your possession?
Lordship, from my possession some medicines have been found. In para 11 I have stated the quantities of which has been recovered, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, nitrosan has been recovered 1.9 gram, whereas the small quantity is 20 gram. And narcotic substance was 3.1 gram, whereas the small quantity is 20 gram.
What were you doing? Selling all these things?
No, Your Lordship, there is no proof, only from a rented house, which is said to be that I have rented that house. From that
The
house,
question is, the small quantity you are saying,
less than small quantity.
it may be of one of the material, but combined it is more. Combined it is more.
But Your Lordship, for
Then?
that particular, Your Lordship, it is small quantity, it is less than small quantity, Your Lordship. Even if Your Lordship we combine it, it is 3.1.
Where were you keeping these injections for?
It was found in a rented place, Your Lordship, which is said to be that I am the one who has rented that
Yes,
place.
then?
But there is no proof that I have rented that place, Your Lordship. And there is also no proof that it was either I have manufactured it or it was used for the purpose of sale, Your Lordship.
Then why have you kept all this, so much of injections, this
I have not kept it,
narcotic
Your Lordship. I
injections?
think that house was not even rented by me.
My lord, you own the illegal business of this
Case diary.
Lordship, the case diary has been filed in another case of the court.
Case number?
BA number 25.
Leave this case along with BA number 25.
84 of 22.
84 of 22. First up, the state will file an affidavit indicating as to whether there are any other similar nature of criminal cases pending against this petitioner or not.
Ticket number 4, PA number 2714 of 22, Mr. Mohammed Bajarullah Ansari.
Yes. 27380. What was recovered?
Just two cases.
Why?
Just with the files. The council, President side also had left the Rasi due to some personal reason also. Two cases also.
Read it.
May I just have
It is better you should remain in custody sometime. Every time you are released on bail, you commit an offense. There are 6 cases within a span of 6 months against you. There are total 11 cases against you. Of similar nature. You are in custody since?
25
Huh?
25/3/2021.
25/3/2021. Call for the case diary. Full stop. आ गया है अभी रिसीव हुआ है You file an affidavit, the state will file an affidavit giving in details the number of cases pending against the petitioner and their stage.
Ticket number 5, PA number 2716 of 22.
There are 2 weeks authentication fee of ₹60 plus authentication fee.
To remove the defects, 2 weeks, remove the defect. Authentication fee and the court fees are deficit.
Ticket number 6, PA number 2717 of 22, Mr. Dilip Kumar Karmakar.
Recently, under section 140, 149, 14, 435, and 79 of Indian Transport and 17 of the CA Act. The petitioner has been remanded from Kota PS case number 10/2022 22 and the similarity equated quantity has already been granted when that is annexure 3. Page 22. The admission against the petition.
How many antecedents are there against you?
That has not come in the improved order.
Case diary, affidavit, state to file an affidavit stating the number of cases pending against the petitioner at this stage.
Serial number 7, BA number 2718 of 22.
Yes, it's minor.
Any case diary called for?
No.
Case diary antecedent.
Serial number 8, BA number 2720 of 22. Mr. Mohammed Jamim Akhtar.
Real movement CRP number 82 of 22.
CRMP चाहिए.
There are 8 other departments.
Yes. Custody since? Custody since? Where is the petitioner? Pass over.
Serial number 9, BA number 2721 of 22.
High person indicated, so for this indication it will appropriate Tani. Then it will also take them to see place only. And then injury is simple in nature, no nutrition, and both are of same age. My Lord, simple injury. And this something like against another person. And
Yes.
no repetition.
379 you are
And this is
absolved.
And that's on 324. Because you are not saying.
Stay for some time, not- Yes.
He is the person who was instituted the fund and is in the city.
Yes.
This is the and this is simple.
And you are in custody since?
Practice it twice.
Only. Heard the counsel for the petition, heard the counsel for
And
the
you
state.
say
The from the FIR I find that there is a direct allegation of the petitioner assaulting the injured by Tangi axe within axe on the head, causing bleeding injury. Next paragraph. Counsel for the petitioner submits that the injury is simple in nature, and the allegation under section 307 is cannot be attracted. So far, 379 is not attracted against the petitioner. Even if, next para, after reading the parties and going through the records, I find that even if the section 379 of the IPC is not attracted against the petitioner, but there's a direct allegation of giving a axe blow on the head of the informant, causing bleeding injury. Considering the specific nature of allegation, at this stage I am not inclined to find it.
After 2 months, 3 months, at this stage,
You can file it tomorrow also.
why have you to give us a कुछ application
Serial number 10, PA number 2722 of 22.
This is case of mobile.
Yes. Yes?
That is mobile shop.
Not named.
Not 461, 379. Custody since 28 November 2021.
28 November. Yes?
There is no recovery.
The petitioner is an accused for allegedly committing an offence punishable under section so and so. There's an allegation that theft was committed in the mobile shop. Next one. From the FIR and other documents, I find that the petitioner is not named in the FIR and he is in custody since 28/11/2021. First time. Charge sheet has already been submitted in this case. Yes?
30 to 40 lakhs.
Yes. Even if 1 crore, then how does it matter? Considering the fact that the petitioner is not named in the FIR, nothing was recovered, and he is in custody since so and so, and charge sheet has already been submitted. 10,000 rupees.
Situation case is serial number 19.
Serial number 19.
Yes.
Who is the APP in serial number 19? Who is the APP? Call the APP in serial number 19. Ashok Kumar.
Mr. Ashok Kumar.
Let it be called up. It's all okay. Fine. Keep the file separately. Yes, next.
Serial number 11, PA number 2723 of 22. Mr. Amresh Kumar.
Arms security 25 and 635. A taxi cutter is recovered but not on the position of the petitioner, Your Lordship. In the FIR itself has come, Your Lordship. That the मोबाइल फोन का गहन छानबीन करने पर सभी लोगों ने निशानदेही पे
What is-
कमरा के अंदर
What was recovered from the position of this petitioner?
Instruction minor delivered, asking country with pistol was
only basic cutter, Your Lordship. Not
You were in custody since?
I am custody since 2/1/2022, Your Lordship.
Stolen bike was also recovered.
No, Your Lordship. That is out of the quarter, as in this quarter is not belongs to me, Your Lordship. In 31st January, December, right, Your Lordship, 5% assembled and no incident or anything happened, Your
The
Lordship.
petitioner is an accused for allegedly committing an offence punishable under section so and so. It is alleged that on pointing out by the petitioner, a country-made pistol was recovered from a house. Full stop. The petitioner is in custody since
2/1/2022.
2/1/2022. Full stop. Considering the period of custody, and I am inclined to release the petitioner on bail. Subject to the condition, he will appear before the trial court once a month.
Serial number 12, PA number 2724 of 22. Mr. Asit Paran Mahara.
This case, the lawyer for the murder party case, it is a total suicide case.
Case of suicide.
Madam, there are 9 I have.
You are the husband.
There were.
Huh?
There are 9 continuous postmortem.
They were.
There were 9.
Call for the case diary and the post-mortem report.
Serial number 30, PN number 2736 of 22, Mr. Ranjan Kumar Singh.
देख लेते हैं ना, देख लेते हैं। There is direct allegation still. Assaulting with a stone boulder, resulting in death. Case diary. Case diary.
Serial number 40, PN number 2737 of 22.
Authentication key of the stain is one.
Case diary. Postmortem. In the meantime, the defects should be removed. No one appears. In the cases where the petitioner's counsel is not appearing, right, no one appears.
Serial number 50, PN number 2738 of 22, Mr. A.S. Delar.
Just case number 639.
You are not named.
No, the FIR was brought against unknown loss.
Then?
They were arrested on suspicion and investigated since 7/12/2021. Two persons have been found. I don't have any legal access to any public.
Who was arrested first?
Person found is already received crossing.
You were arrested first, and on your confession, all these persons were arrested.
No, person said this petitioner and Shiv Kumar and Askar Ansari. They were arrested in the same.
No, these.
They received in order to those two persons also.
Yes. For the counsel for the petitioner and the counsel for the state. It appears that a swift desire belonging to the informant was looted by the unknown. During course of investigation, this petitioner and others were arrested, and they confessed their guilt. The vehicle was recovered from the house of Muhammad Azhar.
No, from one place near.
This order says.
No, that vehicle was in connection with some other. As per this vehicle discussion, the next order we have in the other order.
No, it's the same PS case.
Yes.
Was recovered from a place near the house of Mustaq Alam. The subsequent Mustaq Alam has already been granted bail. Further, another co-accused, Muhammad Azhar, has also been granted bail. Considering the fact that co-accused have been granted bail, I am inclined to release this petitioner subject to the condition that he will appear once a month before Swanson police station.
Serial number 16, PN number 2739 of 22, Mr. Vijay Prasad.
This case is investigated 76 on the 31st of IPC and 406 of the Boxer. This petitioner is not given the advice. The victim has stated that on 20 January 2021, when Jagannath Mehta had called him and asked him how to accompany him.
There are 5 defects. What important is understand that FIR and include order defects.
Yes.
Would be 8 hours in order. Chapter 6760.
You are Sanjeev Kumar.
Prashant Sanjeev Kumar. Sanjeev Kumar. This petitioner is not given the requirements. The environment has stated that on 20th January 2021, when Jagannath Rao called him and asked her to accompany him.
Anna, you are the Anna Dev Sathi. Case diary. In the meantime, the defect to the meantime the defect to be removed.
Serial number 17, GA number 2740/22.
Case relates to armed factor. Reason is that case 23.
Page?
Case 23. From his position, one continued discussion.
Custody since?
Custody since 5th of December 2021.
Case diary antecedent.
Yes. I have stated that I have no criminal
United States.
Regard to the section of the empty order in that file, that has to do.
Defect number 1. 91.
93.
93. 93 ignored.
93. So, empty order.
93 ignored.
Serial number 80, GA number 2741/22. Mr. Kaushal Kishore Mishra.
मतलब ऑप्शन वाला सिस्टम 3 2 मतलब 4 ऐसी फ्रेम मतलब 3 है 6 मतलब इरिगेशन है कितना मतलब कितना है
306.
306
Cause of death.
का कॉज ऑफ डेथ बोलो ऑर्डर सिक्वेंस आइडिया लेकिन दिया कि मेंटली मैंने अनफिट है और दो भाई में आई में इलाज हुआ था जिसके चलते आया की लड़ाई
Case diary postmortem defects to be removed in the meantime.
Sir, certificate of the department is missing at photocopy of that.
मुझे और फाइल करके देते हैं
Just a minute. Defect number?
Probably 941. Certificate of the.
फैक्ट को भी फाइल करके देते हैं
94 is ignored.
Serial number 90, GA number 2742/22. Mr. Satyendra Kumar Singh.
Yes, Mr. Singh.
Serial number 10, my lord. Bill was granted.
Oh, serial number 10. Yes, similar? दोनों क्लब करके.
सीरियल नंबर 10 के कंस्ट्रक्शन सर्वे करना कस्टडी की 12 से
Custody.
Certificate of full commission is missing.
Huh?
In the photocopy of that. Serial number 20, GA number 2744/22. Mr. Ranveer Kumar.
Yes. The defect, the carrying copy has already one minute.
Yes.
Well, the offense area is 334 of the agent.
306.
Yes, sir. The listener is the brother of the deceased wife. And a matter of fact, the sister of the listener gave a female child manor, which was being not accepted by the deceased manor, and for that a couple was taken between both families.
Case diary postmortem.
मतलब इस FIR में आए किस वहाँ में छुट्टी है?
Serial number 21, GA number 2745/22.
Additionally, happens to be the husband of the deceased. Now, there is an allegation that the
Cause of death?
Cause of death, you automatically look at the abstract trooper. Abstract trooper. At page 33. From your assessment from the postmortem report, that is the full paragraph, 15th paragraph. So the injuries are died due to drowning. The FSM before the face of injuries also available for available very good.
Case diary postmortem.
Serial number 22, GA number 2746/22.
Los agregados was under secondary section 34 article permission of capital 376 was added. Allegation is what the petitioner along with
What is the statement of the girl?
Plus, I have Alex
164 recorded or not?
164 plus page number 18.
18.
Yes, but he has not uttered a single word as against this petition.
Let us see.
From page number 18. Lord says God.
You are Monu.
I am Manu Kumar Das.
What is the age of the girl?
20 years, bro. In the 164 it was age 20 years. And if the
There is no allegation of 376.
no,
Yes, APP. I am asking you, is there any allegation of 376? Then, have the counsel for the petitioner, have the counsel for the state. If there is an allegation, the petitioner is an accused for allegedly committing an offence punishable under section 366 of the 34, but later on 376 added. Full stop. Next paragraph. The statement of the victim has been recorded under 164 CRPC, which is on record. Full stop. From the statement, I find that she has declared her age to be 20 years. She states that mother of this petitioner had taken her, along with her, taken her. Full stop. In the entire statement, which runs in 7 paragraphs, there is no whisper that this petitioner has ever committed rape upon her. Also, considering the statement under 164, 10,000 sureties.
Serial number 23, PN number 2749 of 22.
This is the case under section 302 by 34 of the Indian Penal Code and section 27 of the Arms Act. The petitioner is not named in the paper of information.
Then,
the name of the petitioner has come on the basis of conditional statement of the two venue areas and permissional venue alerts. And they have been granted bail by an ordinate bench of this Honorable Court alert that you are seen.
case diary. Let me see the case diary.
Serial number 24, PN number 2750 of 22. Ms. Smita Kumari.
Case diary. Whose bail order you have annexed? Whose bail order you have annexed? Munaranjan Orao and Samir Tirki. Come to page 17. Come read from the third line. As per allegation, petitioner Navin Tirki and co-accused and Jakaria Sekka came with a spade. So you are Navin Tirki. So you are Navin Tirki. So there is a specific allegation against two, and you are taking this court to annexure page 14 and 15 and saying similarly situated. How do you say that similarly situated? Here's the idea. It will be there in the case diary itself.
DA number 2751 of 22, Mr. Ranveer Kumar.
Spelling of father's name is
Defect ignored.
The offense is under section 302 matter the allegation that the one Ramesh Yadav, who is the owner of the deceased man, who
Who is the owner of the?
Owner of the vehicle, in this he is doing as a job of driver matter. And on the basis of the confessional statement of the Ramesh Yadav, the petitioner has been added as an accused in instant prisoner. And said Ramesh Yadav has already been granted bail by this honorable court. I have Ramesh Alexer Kumar, page 19.
Ramesh has been granted bail.
Yes, Lord, by the coordinate
And who is the owner?
Ramesh Yadav. उसी का नाम है, I am not named in this.
Who is the owner?
Yes.
You heard the counsel for the petitioner, heard the counsel for the state. The informant lodged the FIR against Ramesh Yadav in relation to murder of his brother Ravi Kumar, with the allegation that his brother Ravi Kumar was the driver of Haiva vehicle. And he used to beat the brother of the informant on petty matters, and also did not pay his remuneration. Thus, he has murdered the deceased. Next one. From the FIR, it is apparent that there is no eyewitness to the said occurrence, rather on suspicion. The FIR has been lodged against Ramesh Yadav. Ramesh Yadav was apprehended and he confessed his guilt, implicating this petitioner. That he was also involved in commission of the offence and assisted him. Next matter. Ramesh Yadav has already been granted bail by a coordinate bench of this court in BA number 16270 of 2021, dated 23/2/2022. Considering the fact that Ramesh Yadav, who is the named accused, has been granted bail, I am inclined to release this petitioner.
Okay.
Serial number 26, DA number 2752 of 22, Mr. Sabir Saji.
So she cannot commit murder. So petitioner is a lady, she cannot commit murder. Then come to the facts, merits. So you are the wife of the deceased. Oh, earlier also you were in jail. She was in custody for what purpose? So for that she was in jail. When she came out and she heard the counsel for the petitioner, heard the counsel for the state. The petitioner is the wife who has committed the murder of her husband. Full stop. Learned counsel for the petitioner submits that there is no eyewitness to the said occurrence. Full stop. Next part. The APP opposes and submits that on earlier occasion also she tried to commit murder of the deceased, who happens to be the husband, for which a case was registered and she was sent to, she was taken in custody. Full stop. After release on bail, she committed murder of the deceased. Full stop. Considering the aforesaid fact and submission of the APP, at this stage I am not inclined to grant bail to the petitioner. The same is dismissed.
Serial Serial number 27, BN number 2753 of 22. Mr. Vishal Kumar Trivedi.
So the offense under the arms, 3% were apprehended by.
What was recovered from your possession?
Nothing but one mobile.
Where is the APP?
But pistol was recovered from Gaurav Das.
Where is the APP? How many cases are there against you?
No, I have no criminal paragraph is paragraph 13 plus ammunition.
Where is the APP? Did not. Password?
Password.
Serial number 28, BN number 2754 of 22. Mr. Shailesh Kumar Pandey.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
What were you selling?
Later, this is Your Lordship for Joint Lordship. And under section 63 and 65 of the Power Act. And petitioner of the petitioner Lordship petitioner is the selling of the duplicate wire of the anchor.
Duplicate?
Wire.
Wire of anchor.
Anchor.
Custody sales?
Custody sales I have Lordship 12.2022.
Hmm?
12.2022. I am not on the list for all of this.
You are a shopkeeper. You are in the business of selling electrical goods. You are in the business of selling electrical goods.
Yes, that is
The allegation against the petitioner that he being in the business of selling electrical goods was selling where? Selling duplicate electrical wire after which was branded to be manufactured by Mrs. Panasonic Life Solution India Limited within bracket Anchor. Next. The petitioner has remained in custody from 12/1/2022.
Yes,
So considering the period of custody, 10,000 to sureties. And the nature of allegation.
Serial number 29, BN number 2756 of 22. Mr. Ramesh Kumar.
Yes. Case diary.
Serial number 30, BN number 2757 of 22. Mr. Apritansu Sri.
Under the allegation is under section of our section number 149, 158, 149, 153, 506 and 504 of 27 Act. The previous law is specified. So petitioner is in custody since 10/12/21. There is no specific allegation, nothing was recovered or no criminal antecedent. But case have been granted bail and the order has been mentioned that there was no injury on anyone.
Case diary antecedents.
Serial number 31, BN number 2758 of 22. Mr. Ramesh Kumar.
Petitioner. Victim is below 18 years of age on the date of occurrence. 164. Case diary 164.
Serial number 32, PA number 2759 of 22, Ms. Sunita Kumari.
Age of the they have the counsel for the petition, have the counsel for the state. There is an allegation against the petitioner that this petitioner established physical relationship with the victim on the pretext of marriage, and thereafter the victim became pregnant, but this petitioner refused to marry the victim and assaulted her. Next paragraph. From the impugned order in the FIR, I find that the victim is aged about 25 years and the relationship continued from 2016 to 2021. First up, being a major lady, knowing fully well about the consequences, she entered into the physical relationship. Thus, I am inclined to release this petition right here.
Serial number 33, PA number 2760 of 22.
What is the specific allegation?
In the FIR, anybody has been named as a counsel recommended suspicion.
No, as per the CCTV footage.
Yes, no, I am not in the footage, madam. Only in the confession of the petition.
Let the case diary come. In that case also case diary here.
Yes.
I have gone through the case diary.
25.
Case diary. Give that back. Give that order back. Return that order. Yes.
Under the heading fresh filing, serial number 34, PA number 2540 of 22, Mr. Dipankar.
Yes.
This is a case that one inspecting day was filed before the Supreme. There were signatures of the data system. And if it's on the last point, you also said, but what happened in that case? Rejecting granted failure.
In this case, in the anticipatory bail, you had.
Yes.
The petitioner is an accused. Petitioner is an accused for allegedly committing an offence under section 7. Next paragraph. The petitioner was an accused in Manika PS case number 79 of 20. First up, he preferred an anticipatory bail. First up, the wakalatnama contained the seal of the jail. Thus, it was concluded that a forged wakalatnama was produced before the court while praying for anticipatory bail. First. Next paragraph. In the aforesaid case, that is PS case number 79 of 20, petitioner was taken in custody and he was granted bail by coordinate bench of this court in BA number 16021 of 21 by an order dated 23/2/2022. This instant case is an offshoot of the aforesaid case, where the petitioner tried to obtain anticipatory bail, but ultimately he was taken in custody. Considering the fact that petitioner has already been granted bail in Manika PS case number 79 of 20, I am inclined to release this petitioner. Order sheet ready.
Serial number 35, PA number 2719 of 22, Mr. Ikiti Sinha.
Since the offence is position for 20, petitioner is the informant who had initiated the criminal motion, allegations indicating that instead of crediting the amount in the account of A, it was credited in the amount in the account of B, and that's why there was a misappropriation of the government money. Now, during investigation, once it has apprehended who confessed that I have given one scene and instructed him to activate that scene when I called him. This is the allegation. assault attack and we have stage number 19 assault.
Just a minute. Let me see from page 30. Just a minute. You are ABC Construction.
No, I am informed Praveen Kumar Verma. My private stage 18.
So what is your relation with ABC Construction?
There is no relation.
Who are you?
I am Pankaj Kumar Verma, वर्गीय लेखक लिपिक सह प्रमंडलीय ब्रोकर पार्क ग्रामीण विकास डिस्ट्रिक्ट।
Oh.
ड्यूरिंग इन्वेस्टिगेशन जो आया कि सेम जो दिए थे उससे यूजर पासवर्ड चेंज हुआ है, इसलिए अकाउंट चेंज कर दिया गया।
Was the money recovered?
Not from mine. Not from.
No. You are the mayor. You are the operator.
Yes.
Was the money which was
Yes,
wrongly credited was again debited?
Yes, sir.
Let the case diary come. You are?
I've been interested to apply this case, on behalf of the state.
So how do you differentiate between which case the state is highly interested and which case is not highly interested? Additional Advocate General appearing in a bail application really raises some eyebrows. And when other cases the state goes unrepresented. In other cases it was just before you, the state goes unrepresented, and in some cases the Additional Advocate General appears. You are appearing as an Additional Advocate General. How can you appear as per CRPC? It's only the APP can assist the court.
The same does not apply to the Advocate General and my lord.
Advocate General, so what is the Additional Advocate General? It doesn't apply to the Advocate General. So what is Additional Advocate General? How are you saying so? Constitution says Additional Advocate General can be appointed. Then next.
Serial number 36, DA number 2735 of 22, Mr. Ashok Kumar.
So what is your role? What is your role? Oh, the phone belongs to you. From where the petition is an accused for allegedly committing an offence punishable under section so and so. From the mobile phone bearing number 917834908996. One Mayank Singh demanded 2 crore as extortion. Also, next file. From the FIR, I find that it has been alleged that the mobile phone of this petitioner was used to demand the money. Also, considering the aforesaid nature of allegation, I am inclined to release this petitioner to appear once in a month before Suwanso police station.
Serial number 37, DA number 2748 of 22, Mr. Vikas Kumar.
That was subsequently handed over to the department of this case for investigation. I had an procedure to me.
Let the case diary come. What are the case diary?
Pass over cases in bail matters. Serial number 8, DA number 2720 of 22, Mr. Mohammed Salim Akhtar.
This is a simple case. This is a case under section 498A. It is only 498A34. Now, what useful purpose will be served to keep this petitioner in custody? No one appears on behalf of the petitioner. Full stop. After getting assistance from the APP and after going through the file, I feel that it is not necessary to keep this pending, awaiting appearance of the lawyer for the petitioner. Full stop. As after going through the records, I feel that the petitioner deserves bail in this case, and keeping this matter pending will unnecessarily infringe the right of the petitioner. Full stop. Next paragraph. The petitioner is the husband. The case is under section 498A/34 of the Indian Penal Code. Petitioner is the husband. Full stop. The marriage had taken place 7 years ago. In the year 2012. 29/11/2012. Full stop. There are 2 children born out of the said wedlock. It is stated that thereafter, after 3 years of the marriage, she was tortured and dowry was demanded. Full stop. It is alleged that on 27/12/2018 she was driven out from her matrimonial home after being assaulted by this petitioner. Full stop. Next paragraph. Considering the nature of allegation and the fact that the case is under section 498A/34 and the petitioner is in custody since 9th January 2022, I am inclined to release this petition at 10,000 shillings.
Petition number 27, PN number 2753 of 22.
So let me take it down. So this is, so far as the state is concerned, this is not a serious offence. State is not highly interested in this case, so he may be released. Yes, anyone can assist? Any APP? Yes, you assist this part. Just go through and say what has been recovered from the possession of this petition. You are Vikas Sharma.
7.65 volt pistol was recovered from Gaurav Rajput.
Vikas Kumar Sharma, na? The police received information that some person assembled at a place to commit some offence. Full stop. The police raided the place and arrested 3 persons. Petitioner, full stop. Petitioner was one of them. Though firearm was recovered from the possession of others, but from the possession of this petitioner, only a Samsung mobile was recovered. Considering the fact that no firearm, next paragraph. Considering the fact that no firearm was recovered from the possession of this petitioner and he is in custody since 28/11/2021 and charge sheet has been submitted. Yes. I am inclined to release this petitioner 10,000 shillings. Next.
From Delhi Court under the heading for orders, serial number 1, FA number 1 of 17, Mr. Mohammed Asghar for the appellant.
Yes. IA number
4567
of 2017. So this IA has been filed to condone the delay of 29 days in filing this appeal, which occurred in filing this appeal. Full stop. The counsel for the appellant, by referring to paragraph 4 to 9, submits that the delay was absolutely beyond the control of the petitioner, which full stop. He further submits the delay is unintentional and prays to condone the delay. Next paragraph. These opposite parties opposes. Full stop. Next paragraph. Considering the statement made in paragraph 4 to 9 of this IA, I find that sufficient cause has been shown to condone the delay. Delay condoned. IA allowed. This case under the heading for admission.
Figure number 2, MA number 26 of 17.
Delay of 7 days. We have explained it in paragraph.
No, notices were issued on the limitation.
Twice notices were issued, Your Honor. And respondent 1 and 2 has appeared, but respondent 3 has, perhaps he has not appeared. And his appearance is required to because the matter is related to permit, and the permit was granted in Western law, and the accident took place in Apuri. So, and secondly, disability matter is 60% disability.
Who is for the
Name of Mr. Yasser and one more person is.
who is appearing? No one is appearing.
1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2 from the same family also.
But who is there? No one appears on behalf of the respondents. To give one more opportunity, raise this case after 1 week. After 1 week.
We have already
Deposited 4 lakhs and that has been withdrawn.
I don't know. We have deposited.
Yes. Yes, next.
Figure number 3, MA number 50 of 17. Mr. Praveen Kumar Narna, Mr. Chitra Pandey for appellant. Mr. Mohammad Yunus Ansari, Mr. Arvind Kumar Lal.
The report was called to from National.
There is. No. Settlement unsuccessful. What is the case? Succession. No one appears on behalf of the appellant. This case is adjourned for 2 weeks.
Figure number 4, MA number 51 of 17. Mr. PC goes from the appellant.
Yes, Mr. Ghosh.
There is dilemma.
No one is appearing. to appear, notice has not been issued. Notice ordinary process, notice on the limitation and the main application ordinary process. The requisites to be filed within 14 working days.
Serial number 5, MA number 54 of 70.
Someone has appeared. Where is Mr. Upadhyay? Board is pure. No one appears on behalf of the respondent, though Mr. DC Ghosh is present to move the IA. Let's start. Next para. Considering the fact that no one is appearing on behalf of the respondent, to give one more opportunity, this case is adjourned for a week.
Serial number 6, MA number 77 of 70.
Where are the lawyers? They are all interested in bail only. Same order. DC Ghosh की जगह में इनका नाम लिख दीजिए, संतोष को.
Serial number 7, MA number 88 of 70. Mr. Manish Kumar.
This is for orders. This is for limitation. You are appearing. How many days delay? 39 days delay. Okay. Or Mr. GC Jha. I'm not granting. This case has been today listed for considering IA number 1528 of 2017, which has been filed under Section 5 of the Limitation Act, praying to condone a delay of 39 days. That's the next paragraph. After going through the petition, I find that from paragraph 5 to paragraph 9, the cause of delay has been mentioned. After finding that, next paragraph, after finding that sufficient cause has been shown to condone the delay, I allow delay condoned. It is discussed and ready for admission. We'll see the admission stage.
Serial number 8, MA number 93 of 70.
What is your ground? Para number 6, 7, 8 and 9. After which is still condoned. Give your slip, your name will be recorded in the order sheets.
Serial number 9, MA number 97 of 70, Mr. T.C. Jha.
Number of days?
As per my calculation, it is 88 days long.
Why have you written 64 days? 88 days, 92 days. 92 days delay. 3 to paragraph 3, 4. 3 and 4. Delay condoned less than % of the hearing for admission.
Serial number 10, MA number 101 of 70, Ms. Sunita Ojha. For the appellant, Mr. Virendra Kumar, for the respondent.
Pass over.
Serial number 11, MA number 103 of 70, Mr. Ashutosh Anand.
In this case, R3 has time matter.
R3. Mr. Ashutosh Anand submits that respondent number 3 is dead. That's done. Next paragraph. Considering his submission, this case is adjourned for taking appropriate steps.
Second case, R7. Same matter, right? Same.
R7 is dead. Serial number 12.
Serial number 30, MA number 135 of 70, Mr. Manish Kumar, for appellant. Mr. Satish Kumar Ugal, Mr. Tapas Kaviraj, for the respondent.
You are appearing.
My name is appearing. File is missing in count. File is not missing. Now,
This has come for condoning 63 days delay.
not be able to get it.
56 days. Okay, 56 days delay. Paragraph 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Delay condoned with this case another ring for admission.
Serial number 14, MA number 136 of 70,
There is a delay of 5 days matter. Notices were issued first. I submitted for all.
5 days delay. Paragraph
3 to 5 or 3 to 8.
3 to 8. Admission.
serial number 50, MA number 148 of 70, Mr. Alok Lal.
This coming for the first time. Notices were issued. In spite of valid service, no one appears. To give one more opportunity, the respondents, in this case after 1 week.
Serial 60, MA number 151 of 70,
In this case, R4 has died.
R4.
R4.
It has been submitted by the learned counsel for the appellant that respondent number 4 is dead. Full stop. This case is adjourned for taking appropriate steps.
serial number 70, MA number 161 of 70, Mr. Mukesh Kumar.
There is delay of 103 days.
103. There is a delay of 103 days in filing the appeal. Who are you?
And the honor of that vehicle.
You didn't appear before the court below definitely.
No, I appeared there.
Then
But subsequently, what the notice was also given for the same offense. And that I was repeated.
Considering the statement made in paragraph 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, this delay is condoned. The liability is on you.
आपका मेरे ऊपर आप दो गाड़ी का धक्का लगा था.
So your vehicle was not insured.
No, my vehicle was not.
Serial number 80, MA number 165 of 70, Mr. DC Ghosh.
Yes, Mr. Ghosh. Huh? Wait. One day delay. 1 day's delay. Paragraph number 3. Delay condoned. Delay condoned under the heading for admission.
Serial number 90, MA number 169 of 70, Mr.
There is an idea of the 55 for deletion of respondent number 1, my lord.
Deletion of respondent number 1.
My lord, here that number is represented by 2, 3 and 4, my lord. Please.
IA number
6352.
6352 of 2018. This IA has been filed to delete the name of respondent number, opposite party number 1. This is appeal. Respondent number 1. As he died, as he is dead. Next part, it has been submitted that the heirs are already on record as opposite respondent number 2 to 4.
My lord.
2 to 4. Thus the name of the appellant be deleted. The name of the respondent number 1 be deleted. Also, next file. Considering the submission made by the counsel for the petition appellant, the name of respondent number 1 be deleted at the risk of the appellant. Full stop. Necessary correction in reading to be carried out during course of the day. No? Why should the office do it? As per CPC, you have to carry out the amendment. This is an amendment, type of an amendment. Yes? Under the heading for admission? Is this case under the heading for admission? The award amount, there was a direction to deposit the awarded amount. Next paragraph should be here. Actually, yes. Main petition, write down in the main application, main MA. Kumar, write down in the main MA. The counsel for the office has pointed out to this court that before this court that the awarded amount has not yet been deposited. Yes. The awarded amount to the extent of rupees 0.5 lakh has not yet been deposited. The counsel, next part of the counsel, Mr. Ashutosh Anand, submits that pursuant to the order passed by dated 22nd September 2017. The amount has been deposited on 6 to 2018. Amount of rupees 3,50,000. 6 to 2018 before the tribunal. Before the tribunal. Where is the proof? Full stop. The next part, Mr. Ashutosh Anand submits that he will hand over a proof in support of his contention in the court on the next date. Full stop.
Serial number 20, MA number 198 of 70, Mr. MP Lal.
delay of 45 days.
45 days. Yes, Mr. Sinha. There's a delay of 45 days in filing this appeal. The appeal is at the behest of the claimants. This is for enhancement. Paragraph 5 to 5, 6 and 7. Delay condoned. Yes. On what ground you are praying for enhancement?
Because one of the applicant died during the trial, and he died. Applicant who died on 16/9/2016, and thereafter the reward was passed.
3,000 rupees.
Yes, sir.
On what basis?
Because of the transference of the evidence, and they want to replicate.
Okay. Call for the lower court records main application.
Because they are on the without any financial.
Yes?
He was working with an NGO.
NGO?
NGO. They said in their claim petition he was earning 15,000. Their own CW2 exhibited that appointment letter and has said that there is no financial benefit attached. The court has analyzed and said that if they are taking any salary, they must produce some sort of certificate or at least bank account where the amount is being credited as salary. But what they have filed on ATM withdrawal slip showing withdrawal of rupees 15,000. Therefore, court has said, how can ATM withdrawal of 15,000 that too for a month can be considered?
He was working.
He was working with it.
He was working, yes or no?
Yes.
Do you dispute that he was working?
But I can't.
It's in the year? Which year?
The accident of the year. That is accident 21/12/2010.
2010. And how many family members are there? He was looking after?
Wife and one minor. Wife and one
And the father also?
minor. Father was there, but he died.
Father was, he was being looked after. Father was also being looked after. You mean to say that he was maintaining this family, looking after the father with only 3,000 rupees?
But the evidence shows that he was not drawing any salary.
So
he had to be established in there.
He was not begging. Is it your case that he was?
That's not their case.
He was a beggar.
No, it's not. They are financially enough sound. The husband was not earning.
How they were financially sound?
But there is no contrary evidence.
So you should say that they were financially sound.
But I am saying that they are claiming salary. There is no evidence of salary.
Okay.
And the NGO, the employer of NGO says no salary is being paid because it's a non-government organization.
Okay, we'll see to it.
Yes.
Then the NGO was taking work without paying any amount.
But there are.
This is in violation of which provision of the Constitution?
But Minimum Wages Act will apply to this.
Forget Minimum Wages Act. He's working as a, that means he was working as a bonded laborer.
No, voluntary work.
Let's see, we will see to it.
Voluntary work.
We will see to it. Yes, I got for the NCR. We ready for enhancement. Mr. Sinha.
Yes, I find it.
Yes, next.
Serial number 10, MN number 101 of 70.
Yes, for continuation of delay.
No.
Then this is for
The notice has had
notice.
notice.
1, 2, 6, 7, 1 and 2 appeared through Palatana. 6 received the report. What's the word? Correct address, fresh notice, correct address, 21 working days upon respondent, upon respondent number 6, ordinary process.
Under the heading for admission, serial number 21, MA number 89 of 16.
Who are you?
I am the owner of the vehicle, Your Lordship. Since the vehicle was not insured, the motorcycle was dashed into the tractor, Your Lordship. And he is the owner of the tractor motorbike vehicle. In the motorcycle, it was a different motorcycle, Your Lordship. Two of the deceased family, they have filed a claim case, Your Lordship. And two separate appeals have been filed. That is one is the Civil Circle 89 of 2016 and other is the Civil Circle 89.
For enhancement.
For enhancement. And not, Your Lordship. Since he is the owner of the vehicle, Your Lordship, so we have preferred.
No. Those two are for enhancement.
No, Your Lordship. Different individuals, Your Lordship. One of the deceased family is this appeal, which we have challenged, Your Lordship, and other is 88, Your Lordship.
No. This is 89.
There were the two claim cases filed before the land court.
Yes. And the appellant is the?
Same in both the cases, Sunil Gupta.
That is the owner.
Owner of the vehicle, Your Lordship. Owner of the tractor. Actually, it was the motorcycle who dashed into the tractor, Your Lordship. The motorcycle was triple ridden by the three boys. So, two of the family members, they have filed a separate claim case.
So, contributory negligence 25% has been awarded.
Yes, Your Lordship. That is there. Both the appeals, it was a triple ridden. In the other case, triple ridden motorcycle, they don't have the license. So, it has been alleged that it was a national negligent driving on our part, Your Lordship. But since they were.
So, this is coming for the first time?
No, yes, after the delay is being controlled for the first time. And in that case, Your Lordship, notices have already been happened.
Issue notice to respondent number 1 and 2, ordinary process requisites 14 working days.
And it be filed along with
List this case along with
miscellaneous appeal 88 of 2000.
MA 88 of 2016.
In that notice have already.
Serial number 22, MA number 102 of 16.
Case of the claimants, the deceased was traveling with goods, his travels along with 4-5 persons. The finding of the court below in running page 13, internal page 5. Running page 13.
Yes.
Of third line of first line. The defendants have not adduced any evidence on the point, and as such, I found and hold that the deceased was traveling with the offending vehicle. Finding is traveling with the offending vehicle, not along with the goods. Therefore, I am claiming for right of way.
What is the evidence?
Evidence that is just 1 day before.
Deceased was traveling by the said van along with vegetables. So,
this is not a case where the particular deceased has hired the vehicle for carrying his goods.
there are several other persons who are carrying their goods.
4 and 5 persons. Evidence is just 1 day before. Evidence of the claimants.
You are the claimant. That is the owner. Because if an order is passed in this appeal and the appeal is ultimately allowed, it will be the owner who has to be saddled with the liability, or the right to recovery will be granted. Notices were issued to the owner. So the limitation matter notice was issued.
Yes. Limitation matter.
knows the respondent. So you file an application under order 5. First up, in this case, the relief which has been sought for is against the owner of the vehicle. First up, the owner of the vehicle has not appeared. First up, earlier notices were issued, but the notices, but the same was returned with an endorsement that nobody knows about the respondent. First up, next one. Mr. Devish Ghosh at this stage submits that he will file an appropriate application under order 5/120, capital A of the CPC. Does this case after 4 weeks? You have paid the amount?
No.
Pay the amount?
Yes.
Next one. Since at best a right to recovery can be granted to the insurance company, if the appeal at all is allowed, I direct the insurance company to satisfy the award in the meantime.
Serial number 25, MN number 417 of 60, with MN number 773 of 80, Mr. Pratish Kumar for appellant. First case, Mr. Nitin Ranjan.
Lordship, I do not do that question. The problem is to try to produce a law. Some personal
Decision has been made to adjourn this case on the personal difficulty of Pratish Kumar. First up, this case is adjourned. First up, in the meantime, the counsel appearing on behalf of the appellant in MA number 773 of 2018 will ensure removing the defects. There are defects.
Serial. Serial number 27, MN number 461 of 60, Mr. A.K. Sani.
The matter was hard. The improved judgment suffers from the vices of not the error apparently on the face of the record. So the Lordship may directly come to page 61, paragraph 47. First of all, the Lordship may kindly see this is an appeal by the state. The Lordship may kindly see the
Page 47.
yes, before that, Lord, the page 15, Lord, first page of the appellate judgment.
But where is your adversary? This is our title suit.
We are the state of Jharkhand Deputy Commissioner, they are the appellant. Now page 61, paragraph 47. Paragraph 47. The Honorable the Landed Court said that due to absence of Deputy Commissioner, this could not have proceeded. And they were the parties and they are the appellant.
Where it has been?
Paragraph 47.
Paragraph
Page 61.
47. On that ground only.
Yes, sir, that is one of the direction. They remediate back to the landed court below with the direction to direct the plaintiff appellant to include the state of Jharkhand as one of the defendants in this case to came out with the clear picture of title. Now, whereas they are the defendants, they are just the page 15, the very first page, first title of the
No, this is the degree in an appeal. Where is the degree in the suit? So the situation may be he was not a party, but the
defendants appellant. Just the first page, first title.
no, that
The defendants appellant, they were the
show me.
defendants.
Show me.
Yes, sir.
Show me the degree in the suit.
They were the defendants, sir.
You have a copy of the degree
Yes,
in the suit?
sir. Yes. Yes. The second page of second page, first page the plaintiff, and second page the defendant. All are plaintiffs. The second it be just University Justice?
Yes.
The state of Jharkhand,
Deputy Commissioner
Deputy
Bokaro.
Governor, they are the parties.
Separate
And how
officers of the
and
party.
under what circumstances does the appellate court lost sight of this fact? Especially when it is while that it is labeled as defendant's appellants. And for this purpose, the matter was remitted back to the learned court. This is one of the grounds. And then the next line, para 48.
Para 47.
Yes, para 47. On the facts and in the circumstances mentioned above, the findings on issue of the learned court below is set aside. In the interest of justice, the case is remitted back to the learned court below.
Yes, the state is not interested in defending. Yes.
On that day, Mr. Dubey was the hearing.
On a day, one counsel will appear, on the next day, another will appear. Call him.
The learned court below with the direction to direct the plaintiff appellant to complete the state of Jharkhand as one of the defendants in this case, to come out with a clear picture of title and also to allow both the parties to give evidence in support of their case before their right at interest and possession of both the parties may be described property in accordance with law. It is further directed that after remand, the state of Jharkhand or the defendants number 1 to 4, appellants number 1 to 4 must produce original copy of exhibits which were marked as exhibit A to exhibit S. All are contradictory in nature.
Where is the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court which says that in a no. The appellate court will go through the evidence and can decide even if the trial court has not decided a particular issue. The appeal is a continuation of a suit.
Yes.
If there are sufficient evidence, it is not necessary to remand. Why there should be a remand?
Yes.
Where is the judgment? There are judgments.
There are judgments. I have gone through this judgment.
Where is the state?
Let it be passed over for day on the next day.
First let the state come, then they will again on the next date also they will pray for it. This judgment has to be set aside. Divorce the law, divorce the fact, divorce everything. If the plaintiffs have not brought on sufficient evidence, the suit has to be dismissed. The appeal has to be dismissed also. And if there is evidence which has not been considered by the trial court, then it is the duty of the appellate court. Then what for the appellate courts are established? It says that the state is not a party. This original degree, the state is a party.
Next line, paragraph will be
Even if that is a error, typographical error, but I am going through the degree. The plaintiffs are there, the defendant is the state of Jharkhand. Number 2, deputy commissioner. And the entire case was against the defendants. Yes. What do you have to say? There. Assess properly after with all the judgments. You were already a party in the suit. And how could this court, appellate court, hold that the state of Jharkhand is not a party? That means superfluous way this judgment was delivered without going through the records. And what is this finding? It is further evident that the learned court below has completely ignored the evidence of DW number 1, 2 and 3. If the learned trial court has ignored evidence of DW number 1, 3, what was the appellate court sitting for? The first appeal, 96. 96 of the CPC, he has to appraise the evidence independently. What sort of judgment is this? On the request of the counsel for the state, this case is adjourned for 1 week. Mr. Sani, come with the judgment.
Yes, Madam.
Please. So this is the, I am exercising jurisdiction under order 43, order 41. 43, no, 43 rule 1U. 1U. So this is an appeal. So I have to give a judgment. It's not like a bail application that you come and argue and I will pass an order. So come ready with the judgments.
Serial number 28, MA number 564 of 16, Mr. P.S. Pati.
Yes. The last occasion, no one appears on behalf of respondent number 2. Prior to that, how many dates prior to that?
Just 1 day.
Yes, what was the instruction which was sought for?
5 lakhs your lordship had said would be a reasonable amount, but there was a
Instruction. There is a 5 lakh by way of 1 day. But we cannot do for the reason which is running page 22 of this memo copy.
22.
Yes. Others they come to last paragraph 9, bottom 8 lines. Right to recovery is given. And what is here the owner is not contained as here. Others, the other aspect of this matter is I was given right to recovery on the basis of Supreme Court judgment which was later on modified in terms of the judgment passed in the case of Mukul Dev versus Lodi.
That has gone to the full bench.
Again it was referred to the full
So referring a matter to the full bench doesn't mean that the judgment has been stayed or the judgment will not be operated.
But
Yes.
therefore I cannot able to.
last but one paragraph I was going through, there an undertaking is by the insurance company that we continue to pay. We have paid and we continue to pay. May I please?
Yes, I will pay, but not by way of compromise because they might have to surrender by right to it.
But the last line I have read. Before we part,
Where is it?
this is Bajaj Alliance General Insurance Company versus Ramkha Devi. And 7 it is noted. Before we part, we must note that all the learned counsels appearing for the insurance company have fairly submitted that the compensation in terms of the directions issued by the court below, that is to say, following the principles laid down in Mukul Devgan Supra, has either been paid in full or shall be paid in terms of such direction. Their statement is recorded. So
No, but now the Mukul Devgan has been referred to the full bench.
But that will not persist.
No, he is saying that right to recovery has been given to us.
I cannot surrender.
Where is the owner?
This was issued by
The owner is respondent number 2.
Yes, my lord.
It's a case of transport.
Valid SR of R2 kept at flag V. Let us see. Considering the last order, this case is listed ex parte against the respondent number 2. LCR is here. Let's call for the local records as this is a case for enhancement. It's a case for enhancement filed by the claimants. Use this case immediately after receipt of the same.
So far as the enhancement is concerned, for that aspect of the matter, NCR is not required.
Right.
Whatever they have pleaded, whatever they have said, the tribunal has awarded amount on the basis of that. Then I can just show.
What is let me see. No, in your evidence, what did you claim? Your income to be?
My lords may straight away come to page 90. From there it starts. Page 20 top.
Yes.
That is their case, starting off 5,000 per month and he was 45 years of age. That is their pleading. Then my lords come to page, paragraph 5. Owner appeared and he said he was paid 5,000 per month. So their pleading is there. Owner says paid 5,000. Then my lords may come to.
Where is the calculation?
Calculation is page 20.
No, this is was earning 3,000 for. How come this 3,000?
Yes, he took that he could himself.
So it can be calculated of 5,000.
Let the LCR come.
At base.
Let the LCR come. Tomorrow, your company may appeal before the Supreme Court saying that how can the court has passed an order without the LCR and concluded that 3,000, 5,000 is the correct amount.
Previous case was against order of remand. Your lordship has delivered a immediate judgment in our court. I was appearing, Mr. Amit Das was appearing. The scope of the court, what it can do.
Yes.
I will furnish the case.
You furnish it to the state. You are also for the state.
I will.
You are also for the state.
My case was a private.
You are also for the state. You are.
Your lordship has already decided the parameters, that what is to be done by the appellate court and remand to what extent,
Yes.
in what manner.
Yes, next.
Serial number 30, MA number 660, Mr. Ashutosh Anand.
Second February.
2nd February.
This is follow up to the customer with respect to profit that you have for that.
We are directed to claim on record of permit in us. Therefore, little more than because the content for the process for the court will is not being there.
I couldn't understand.
Court will of consider also from is not where you are also basically
After Holi, on the request of respondent number 5, this case will be listed 3 weeks after Holi. Have you revalidated the draft? Seek instruction. We'll decide it. Amount has been paid.
Serial number 31, MA number 614 Mr. Swaminath Prasad.
Why? For? How many more time you want? By last chance. By last indulgence, I am granting you 4 weeks time. 4 weeks time is granted to the appellant to file necessary application. We are allowed to place this case after 4 weeks. So just because this is a claimant's case, yes, and that has been dismissed, I am giving you this indulgence.
Serial number 32, MA number 655 Mr. Vijay Kumar Sharma. Mr. Mohammed Rakesh for the respondent.
LCR is here? But where are the respondents? They have already holiday mode. Railway?
This is a railway matter. Right now, the railway council is to railway matter to the back in railway council का जो हमारा existing panel उसको खत्म कर दिया गया और सारे matters are in India.
Where is AHGI? Call it. Display. Pass over.
Serial number 33 with serial number 34, MA number 665 of 16 with CR number 49 of 60.
Same order.
Yes, yes, the opposite order was passed, wherein in the first portion, order 7-11 application was rejected. We had filed objection of page erosion. Since this is entirely a company matter erosion, because both the parties are directors in the company, and this is after the NCLT was made effective in 2016 erosion. So one of the directors, both the brothers and the directors, equal shareholders, one of the directors had filed before the district court in Ranchi, stating that in order to protect the interest of the company, he is filing this application.
Where is the plaint?
Yes, it is on page 47.
And where is the respondent?
Respondent.
Page 49.
47.
47 is something else.
Annexure 4, page 47 of the civil division.
No, you are in which case?
We are
In
we are,
MA.
Yes, both the case, MA and civil division. So I am right now placing civil division, your lordship, since it is pertaining to order 7-11.
And this MA is what?
And MA is related to an ex parte injunction was granted, appointing the receiver.
Okay.
So I am firstly placing the civil division, your lordship, since it is pertaining to order 7-11.
So if this is allowed, the other one becomes infructuous.
Yes, sir.
Who is appearing? Civil revision has been filed. Civil revision is under. You are the respondent in the civil revision.
Yes, in both we are the petitioner and the appellant, Your Lordship.
So your name appears on behalf of both,
Yes,
in
Your
both the
Lordship,
sides.
that was pointed out to the registry over here because it was somehow reflecting and we had pointed it out. Earlier it was being heard by Honorable Justice Gupta and I pointed out to the bench, Your Lordship.
So has that been rectified?
Your Lordship, Lordship had also told the office to rectify it.
Why the name of Khushbu Kataloke appearing on the respondent side also? Chikal Duguli Patnikali, there is nothing in the record. This is not good. Reflecting name of a council on both the sides. Plaint is
At page 47, annexure 4.
where is Neeraj Kishore? He is appearing in both the cases. What is the latest judgment under Order 7 Rule 11?
I should have prepared a compilation wherein we have first placed the judgments for non-joiner of company as a plaintiff lodged. Because since they are seeking prayers regarding the protection of the company ought to be have made a co-plaintiff lodged. And then their judgment.
Where is the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court? Where are the under Order 7 Rule 11?
Yes, Lordship, it is there. Salim Bhai, Adas of the state of Maharashtra, Church of Christ Charitable Trust, we have placed 3 judgments, Lordship. The other is R.K. Rojan versus U.S. Guide, where it says that once an application is filed under Order 7 Rule 11 of CPC, the court has to dispose of the same before proceeding with the trial. There is no point or sense in proceeding with the trial of the case in case the plaint is only to be rejected at the threshold. Therefore, the defendant is entitled to file the application for rejection before filing his written statement. Your Lordship, once we go through the impugned order, the learned court below has also rejected our Order 7 Rule 11 on the point that we have not filed a written statement and that we are being evasive. Yes, Your Lordship, it is there.
Because the first defense, if you want to take a defense of Order 7 Rule 11, that would be the first defense.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Otherwise, filing of written statement will become redundant. Why should I file a written
However,
statement?
he has also stated that we are being evasive with regard to our reply. And Section 430 of Companies Act 2013, Your Lordship, clearly bars the jurisdiction of civil courts. So it is clearly being covered under Order 7 Rule 11 subsection D, Your Lordship. And one more pertinent fact is that both the parties are already contesting the similar nature of matter before the NCLT Kolkata. And that is why I have filed a supplementary affidavit on the last occasion, wherein I have captured all the orders. It has been filed last 2 weeks before you. So where I have captured all the orders that have been passed by NCLT, both the parties are contesting it, even the valuer has been appointed, and all the prayers are clearly being covered by NCLT. And both the parties are participating in it, also have contested before the appellate tribunal regarding the interim orders.
Where is the prayer?
Prayer of the plaintiff.
Yes, prayer in the plaints. Schedule A is the statement of accounts. Page 19.
Yes. Page 19, and in page 65. May I read the prayer?
Acts of omission and commission by defendant number 1. Loss of the commission. This is the case of mismanagement.
Yes, Your Lordship, oppression and mismanagement, please.
Where? What is the stage of the suit?
Lordship,
What is the stage of the suit?
Your Lordship, after this order was passed regarding intelligent injunction, the case has not been taken up. Only adjournments have been taken. We had also filed an application for stay of further proceedings, Your Lordship, for this.
So it is already stayed.
It has not been stayed.
Then
It's just that because of COVID pandemic, Your Lordship, the matter had not been followed. But so far, there is no stay as such.
and who is appearing?
Lordship, earlier senior counsel Mr. B. Shivnath had also been appearing on certain occasions, and my learned Neeraj Amar Kumar Sinha was also. However, they had refused to take the supplementary, office of senior counsel has only received the supplementary. In the June order, the Learned Court below has stated that this is not a case of oppression and mismanagement and only negligence, hence it would be covered under tortious liability.
Without evidence, how can that be held? It's a company.
Yes. Both the brothers are equal shareholders. And there are several other litigation also going on between the brothers and with the partnership, and all the other partnership firms are also in the process of dissolution. So it is a pure case of lordship, oppression and mismanagement.
In fact, both. It's a case of fight between two brothers.
Yes, sir. However, since the respondent in this matter was a plaintiff before the Learned Court below resides in Ranchi, that is why they have been trying to exhaust the jurisdiction of Ranchi. However, there is no case before the original, before the district court judge. It is a pure case of NCL. And we have also highlighted as to how each player is being covered by the particular section of Companies Act. If you see page 21 of our revision, we have stated how each and every player is being covered by certain provisions of Companies Act.
They are not proceeding.
Because of pandemic, the lordship is not being called out, but since the courts are not functional.
Call the counsel for the respondents.
So maybe given a short passover, lordship will try to connect.
It's possible. Yes, next.
Serial number 35, MA number 39 of 70, Mr. Ramchandra Sahu for appellant, Mr. Vikash Kishore Prasad, Mr. Naveen Kumar for respondent.
Where is Ramchandra Sahu? Succession. LCR is here. No one appears on behalf of the appellants. This case is adjourned for 4 weeks. Where is the ASGI?
Serial number 32, MA number 655
Yes.
of 60, Mr. Vijay Kumar Sharma.
So, who will appear on behalf of the railways now?
Because for railway, because the last week itself was getting modified and the files have started to come in towards after we have been assured that not by the end of this week because we will be getting all the
So you will appear. लिखिए तो.